Hope you enjoy listening to the story. This Valentine's Day, my husband died in the mistress's bed. I laughed in my dream, what a great death, I will take back all the assets you hid from me. My husband, Siakan, died on the mistress's bed. I immediately called someone to take his body to the crematorium, burned it all without leaving a single trace, then went straight to the insurance company to receive the 8 million yuan accident insurance money. Unexpectedly, as soon as he left the door, he was stopped by the mistress Nguyen Yuyan. Duong Ha, Hakan is dead. The compensation is mine, give it back. I was still looking for her. The man had just died and she was already demanding compensation. He died on her bed, who knew if she had murdered him? Nguyen Yuyan's face was pale, she said she was sick. He died suddenly from being too agitated. Hee, I know that very well. I just wanted to scare you a little. Nguyen Yuyan, you are 12 years younger than Ha Kan. When I arrived at the scene, Siakan was naked, her legs were on the bed. You dare say you are not responsible? Nguyen Yuyan was so scared that she almost cried. Her legs went weak and she knelt down on the ground. What do you want to do? I didn't do anything, I just reminded her to prepare the property that Siakan gave her. I will come and get it later. Nguyen Yuyan still argued, showing that she was offended that I dared to use money to tarnish their so-called pure love. Hakan and I are true love, there is no money involved. I have never received a single penny from him. You don't accept money and still rush into being a mistress? Are you that thirsty for men? Nguyen Yuyan's face turned pale. I thought she would go crazy, but unexpectedly she swallowed her anger and bowed her head and went home like a rat in a ditch. I knew she came home to transfer the property, so I lowered my head. Do you think I don't have proof? I clapped my hands, leisurely followed behind, and kicked open the door of the villa that I wanted to buy for Nguyen Yuyan. The bodyguard immediately pulled Nguyen Yuyan, who was struggling to put in her gold bracelet. I carried her out the door and started packing. Her thin nightgown was torn, revealing her white skin. I sneered. Nguyen Yuyan, you're dead? Are you so poor that you can't even afford a decent dress? Are you wearing such tattered clothes? Stop, why are you moving my things? She also decided to get up, covering herself and angrily pointing at the bodyguards who were moving the things. Duong Ha, this is what Hakan bought for me, what are you going to do? I'm just reminding you, this house was bought by Hakan with our money, it's joint property. I have the right to ask for it back. Right now I'm just cleaning my house. Nguyen Yuyan's face turned pale then white. Suddenly she burst out laughing sarcastically. Are you jealous of our love? Jealous because Hakan loves me, buys me a house, money, jewelry, handbags, while you have nothing. Now that he's dead, she just wants to destroy all the memories between me and him. Duong Ha, she lives without a man's love, how pitiful. Pitiful, I burst out laughing. What if I don't have a man? I can't do without money. I have to thank you for serving me so well that you made me die on the bed. Now all his assets are mine. Nguyen Yuyan's face turned pale with jealousy. I decisively ordered the bodyguards to clean out the entire house, leaving her to live with the so-called true love. After selling the house and getting 5 million in cash, I immediately went to the Ha family's villa. Ever since I discovered Siakan's affair, I've been secretly monitoring his accounts. To avoid investigation, he converted the company's shares into cash and gold, hiding them all in the basement of the Xia family's ancestral mansion. I caressed the gold bar and smiled brightly. Siakan, you are truly a good man. After you died, you left me so much property. If you are not good, then what are you? I had someone load all the gold onto the cart. As soon as I turned around, I saw a figure approaching in a chaotic manner. It was indeed Nguyen Yuyan. That's right, the family villa was located halfway up the mountain and they couldn't get in without a car. Nguyen Yuyan didn't have a car, so she could only walk. She wiped her sweat, and when she saw me, she stopped and asked in surprise. Duong Ha, why are you here? I glared at her, didn't bother to answer, and got in the car and drove away. She immediately jumped forward and grabbed onto my car door, her eyes greedily looking back and forth inside. You must have taken it. Hakan once said he would leave it all to me. What right do you have to take my share? He said he would leave it to you. Then call up his spirit and talk to me. I laughed coldly. Nguyen Yuyan's tears immediately flowed. She knew clearly that Hakan was dead. She also knew that he was dead. Now that the family is down, the one in charge is me. I started the car and was about to leave when Nguyen Yuyan frantically grabbed onto the car door and screamed like crazy. Robbery! Someone is robbing my property. I let go of her hand and she fell to the ground, rolling around in the mud. Robbery? I laughed. Then you call the police. Hearing that, Nguyen Yuan stepped back. She told me to report to A. What's the basis? Because she didn't dare. I put my hands on my chin and said calmly, didn't she and Ha Kan go together to embezzle the company's assets before? Now if the police knew that Ha Kan was dead, that would be fine, but she would definitely be thrown in jail. Nguyen Yuan turned pale, trembling with fear. Don't talk nonsense, you have no evidence. Whether yes or no, just call the police and it will be clear. I took out my phone. Nguyen Yuan quickly put her hand on mine. No need to scare me by calling the police. I know I am not qualified to fight you for the inheritance. But what about Akan's parents? I have asked the lawyer, they have the same right to inherit as you. After saying that, she turned and walked away. I watched her back as she left. They were Sia Kan's parents. After hearing the news of their son's death, they quickly cut short their trip and flew back home. As soon as they saw me, my mother-in-law Sia was filled with energy. She stood behind the bodyguards and pointed at me, scolding me. You cruel woman. My son died and you didn't even bother to tell me. It was only through Yuan that I found out my son died. I thought she had told me. Didn't she tell me how her son died? It must have been because she didn't fulfill her duties as a wife that my son died. As soon as she finished speaking, she screamed and sat down on the ground, sobbing bitterly. I ignored her. You must transfer all my son's assets to me. What right do you, an old hen that can't lay eggs, have to claim inheritance? I quickly called someone to help her up. Mom, if you want the assets, just say so. Don't get so agitated. My blood pressure is skyrocketing. I don't want to have to clean up the mess again. Mrs. Ha immediately stopped crying and looked at me. You dare to curse me? I don't dare, Mom. I pretended to cry. I was just saving the national medical resources. Mrs. Ha was shaking with anger and started to lecture. If it weren't for the fact that after getting married she only cared about work all day, didn't take care of the house, didn't have children, how could Ha Kan have an affair? And then how could she die? Ever since I married Ha Kan, she kept urging me to have children. But I focused on my career. When the company was just getting on track, Ha Kan had an affair with Nguyen Yuan and she wanted a divorce. Now what? My mother-in-law blames my not having children as the reason my husband had an affair and died? I really laughed. I couldn't hold it in any longer, burst out laughing, then turned to look at my husband's father, Mr. Ha. Dad, according to Mom, it's natural that Ha Kan would have an affair because I didn't have children. What about Dad? Mom gave birth to a child for Dad, so has Dad ever gone out to eat? Mr. Ha was hit in the heart by my question. His face immediately turned pale. What nonsense are you talking about? I laughed even louder. Yes or no, just look and you will know. I clapped my hands. The assistant ran over with a USB and a laptop. This was something I accidentally discovered when investigating Ha Kan. Now I just ask, were my parents-in-law surprised? Obviously, Mr. Ha was very afraid of that surprise. He immediately closed his laptop, tried to act gentle, and turned to Mrs. Ha, saying, Why are you looking at all this? Why don't we discuss how to arrange our son's funeral? Mrs. Ha didn't seem to notice anything either, took a deep breath and turned on the computer screen herself. I sat leisurely on one side, preparing to watch the drama. The video started playing. On the screen, Mr. Ha was holding a woman as he entered the hotel. The two of them hugged each other and walked into the room, hand in hand. Mrs. Ha was so angry that she was shaking, her eyes were red, and her gaze was fixed on her husband who had just revealed his true face. Oh my God, this was so dramatic that I almost fainted. What the hell, turn it off right now. Mr. Ha's face turned red. He rushed to turn it off. Mrs. Ha stopped him, glared at him, then turned it off right in his face. Well done. You dare to cheat behind my back. Tell me now, did you give that woman any money from home? Mr. Ha stubbornly refused to admit it. She just wanted to blame me to escape punishment. How could she be so easily fooled? But Mrs. Ha did not listen. Grabbing the few remaining strands of his hair, he yelled, No wonder I keep seeing money in the house decreasing. He is so shameless, not revealing that fox. I will castrate him. Mr. Ha knew he was wrong, but he was still proud. He squeezed her hand and pushed it away. Don't go too far. I pay for the family's food and expenses. So what if I have a woman outside? What's so strange about men cheating? Mrs. Ha was so angry that her face turned red like boiled pig liver, almost exploding. What's on my mind? What's below? I've killed you now. The two of them were chasing each other like an action movie playing live in front of me. I thought I should call the police. What if they broke down my door? Finally, the police came and took both of them to the station for a re-education session, but that only lasted for 3 days. After that, I received a summons from the court. 2 days ago, I had just managed to reclaim the land that Hakan had bought before. As soon as my husband's parents heard the news, they immediately sued me in court for embezzlement, demanding half of the 8 million life insurance money. I was brave and smart, so I confronted them in court. On the day of the trial, my assistant Bin then and I entered the court. Mrs. Ha jumped up first, shouting to the judge, "My son Ha needed to spend money to buy that piece of land. We are parents, so we have a share. As for the 8 million insurance money, we ask her to split it in half." The judge looked at me, "Defendant Duong Ha, is that right?" I am an honest person and immediately shook my head. "No. That piece of land is mine, it has nothing to do with them." Mrs. Ha's face turned pale. She immediately jumped up and scolded, "What are you barking about? Have you lost all your dignity?" Mr. Ha also took the opportunity to continue, "That's the money my son spent his blood and sweat to buy," she said. "What's yours is yours?" I sat in the defendant's position, pretending to be a bit crazy, excitedly punching my fists. "Wow, this is the first time I've seen 2 such big pieces of shit. It's really exciting. Like this, the 2 of you say that Hakan is your son. Do you have any evidence?" Mrs. Ha scolded, "We are family, what evidence do you need?" I clicked my tongue. "I had to prove it. Prove that he's her son. Are you really his biological mother?" Mrs. Ha was so shocked by me that she froze for a few seconds. At this time, Mr. Ha took out a stack of documents from his briefcase and said loudly, "Yes, here they are." Mrs. Ha glared at him, asking why he didn't bring them out sooner. The documents Mr. Ha gave were the family registers taken from the police station. Even though Ha and I had feelings for each other before, he imported them with me, so the relationship was still easy to prove. Mr. Ha was really smart. But I was not stupid. The judge looked through the documents, nodded, and asked me, "What was your relationship with the deceased?" I said we were husband and wife. As I answered, I handed over the identification papers I had prepared in advance. Then I added, "I know that according to the law, if the deceased does not leave a will, the property will be divided according to the law of inheritance. The first priority is the spouse, children, and parents. Second are siblings, grandparents." Before I could finish, Mrs. Ha jumped in line. "Judge, did you hear? The first line of inheritance is parents. That means we also have the right to inherit land." "Huh. The judge doesn't know the law for sure." The judge looked at Mrs. Ha, spoke coldly, and she kept quiet so I could do my work. Then he signaled me to continue. I said, "But when Hakan and I got married, he swore that after the wedding, whether we lived or died, he would do everything for us." My assistant immediately brought up the commitment that Hakan had written by hand, with both of our signatures and fingerprints at the bottom. Next is the video recording the entire process, clearly showing the date and time. I would like to add, Your Honor, that I have verified that the signature and fingerprints are a perfect match with Hakan. Since Hakan's affair, I have learned to protect myself, and I am on guard against 800 things. The judge rubbed his chin and examined it. His expression was very clear. Mrs. Ha was completely embarrassed by this matter. She was so angry that she almost yelled at me. "You are so despicable. You have been hiding that thing for so many years and still not showing it." Order. The judge turned his face to look at Mrs. Ha. "Thank you. Do you have anything else to say? Do you have any evidence to refute?" Mrs. Ha felt bitter, as if she had swallowed bile. She could only shake her head, regretting it to the point of her stomach aching. Her overly agitated attitude further proved the authenticity of the evidence. In the end, the verdict was given that the land, not even a blade of grass, would fall into the hands of Mr. and Mrs. Ha. Leaving the court, the faces of the other 2 were extremely ugly, looking at me as if they wanted to eat me alive. As for me, I smiled brightly and happily got into the car and left. Perhaps because I won the battle so easily, all of Hakan's inheritance went to me, making many people feel uncomfortable. And then something happened that left me gaping. Nguyen Yuyan brought a little girl of about 2 years old, and came to the company to meet me. She had lost miserably to me before, but this time she dared to bring her child to confront me directly. When I went downstairs, many curious employees were whispering, "Is that child General Manager Ha's illegitimate child? Keep your voice down or else I'll get angry when I deal with Ha later." "What's wrong with that?" Everyone in the company knows how General Manager Ha died. That little mistress is really shameless. She even dared to come and claim the inheritance. But then again, that girl doesn't look like General Manager Ha at all. I was standing right behind her, and the assistant coughed. Quack, what are you guys doing? The company pays you to gather around and gossip? You guys, come to the HR department later to get your termination notice. The group of employees immediately dispersed. Nguyen Yen Yen reflexively held the child tightly, looking at me warily. Duong Ha, I hope we can have a good talk today. Don't just open your mouth and tell someone to chase me away. What? Talk properly? I thought about it. What does the word good have to do with you? This time you want to bring your child here to force me to take responsibility? I glanced at the little child who was looking at me with wide eyes. Nguyen Yen Yen immediately said, this is my child in a cans, what do you want to do? Damn it, you stole my lines again. I stomped my feet in surprise. Nguyen Yen Yen was stunned for a moment, then stopped and raised her head, declaring strongly, I came here to claim inheritance rights for my child. The law now recognizes even illegitimate children as having the right to inheritance. Wow, I lived with Hakin for 7 years. I remember every single expression of his face and every gesture. Like this child, his eyes were nothing like his. I knew right away that he was playing a trick. I smiled and replied, yes, as long as you can prove that this is Hakan's child, I will divide the property for her. Nguyen Yen Yen raised her head. Didn't she just need a DNA test? But Hakan was dead, there was no way to prove it anymore. I rolled my eyes, who would listen to such nonsense? I turned to call the bodyguards and dragged them out for me. Before I could do anything, Nguyen Yen Yen had already fallen to the ground, hugging her child and crying. She dared to push me? 2 bodyguards, she started crying like her father had died. Oh my God, being a parent is so hard. Hakan is gone, how will this child live? I turned to the bodyguard, what are you still standing there for? Help her call the police. Unexpectedly, upon hearing this, Nguyen Yen Yen immediately jumped up, hugged her child and ran away, never to be seen again. It wasn't that simple. At first, I admired Nguyen Yen Yen's courage to confront her head-on. But you can't underestimate a shameless person. My assistant called like crazy in the middle of the night. Sister Ha, something's wrong. Please check the hot search. I called late at night. I opened my phone in a mumble, almost spitting out my saliva at the sight on the screen. The paparazzi had taken a picture of Nguyen Yen Yen coming to my company to harass me today. Oh, she was taken with a very pitiful expression on her face. As for me, I am the face of the shit-eating meme. I didn't expect that I also have the potential to become a meme. The content was distorted into, after Hakan died, I abandoned our child, leaving it to my best friend Nguyen Yen Yen to raise. I did not provide for, did not visit, did not care for the child's life or death. Nguyen Yen Yen came to my company today to lie because she had no choice but to ask me to help her with some childcare expenses. Her salary is low and she can't afford it. Immediately, netizens started attacking her. Duong Ha is no pushover, otherwise how would she have climbed up the rich list? Evil women are more likely to succeed. Unscrupulous, asking for a child and not raising it, what's the point? Sue her, don't fight back. A boycott of my company's products has begun. I'm in the spotlight. Sister Ha, what should we do? My assistant on the other end of the line was so nervous that she was about to cry. The rumors were spreading too fast. We had to hold a press conference to clarify things. Otherwise, many companies will stop cooperating with us. I disagree. I said firmly. This time Nguyen Yen Yen is willing to pay for paparazzi. If I don't let her use it all, wouldn't it be a waste of time? I have to play it out. Find a team of soldiers right away. Throw in $1 million to create a counterattack. The more dramatic the better. The assistant immediately went to prepare. As for me, I was so excited that I couldn't sleep. I poured myself a glass of wine. I sat reading comments like I was watching a TV show. Comment my side is on the floor. Supporter 1. On this network, black and white are exposed everywhere. This is inside information. Duong Ha has no children at all. Nguyen Yen Yen is a real mistress. Supporter 2. The whole country knows about Ha Kan's death. Even if the child is an illegitimate child, what does it have to do with Duong Ha? Supporter 3. Nguyen Yen Yen is so greedy for property. What a loser. Supporter 4. Don't think netizens are stupid. If Duong Ha really abandoned her child, then show the evidence. Anyone can tell by typing. Supporter 5. being a mistress but crying online with her shoes on. Her mouth is like a trash can. She has no shame. I laughed heartily. Transfer more money. Tell she didn't team to continue attacking. In addition, the majority of netizens are already allergic to adultery. Many people don't need to be hired to automatically stand on my side. The general doesn't have money like me, so of course she loses. Soon after, I was scolded by netizens until I couldn't even lift my head. I was in a good mood and slept soundly. But things didn't stop there. My parents-in-law, thinking of Dike Tun, would definitely not let it go and would definitely come out to help Nguyen Yuyen. In real life, I still had to deal with a few more aspects. Sure enough, not even a few days later, I received a summons from the court. It seems that after the online scandal broke out, my parents-in-law took the initiative to contact Nguyen Yuyen, asking me to divide the assets for Ha Kan's illegitimate child, and even hired a lawyer. Amazing, I also have a top-notch lawyer in the industry ready to take the stage. While preparing for the trial, Mrs. Ha flew into a rage as soon as she saw me rushing over to beat someone. I followed the court police, blinking my eyes. Brother, please save me. If she hurts me, how can I go to court? Wouldn't I fall into their trap? The court police immediately blocked Mrs. Ha. This is a place where the law is enforced. Don't lie, or you will be arrested. I smiled gently, thanking the handsome man who fell. Mrs. Ha was so angry that she pointed at me, you just wait. Finally the trial began. Nguyen Yuyen pushed the little girl next to her forward, and was the first to jump out. This is my child with Ha Kan. I asked Duong Ha to divide Ha Kan's inheritance for my daughter. I am willing to do it, no problem. I said it before, as long as you can prove that this is Ha Kan's child, it's fine. The judge nodded. Whoever made the request had to prove it. Nguyen bandaged his head. Nguyen Yuyen bit her lip, stammering. Before her lawyer could say anything, Mrs. Ha jumped in and said, "We are family. We can testify, she is my granddaughter." The judge was serious. Just talking was not enough, we needed concrete evidence. My lawyer pushed up his glasses and said without any hesitation, "So I can also say that I am your biological father." I burst out laughing, nudged his arm, and said seriously. The judge was also embarrassed, had to cough a few times, and then banged his gavel to signal order. On the other side, Nguyen Yuyen's lawyer started to fumble, pulling out a stack of papers. We have the child's birth certificate, which has the mother's name on it. In addition, the child's blood type matches the father's blood type. Stop. My lawyer cut the birth certificate, which has the names of all the parents. You can get a fake one, but what does blood type mean? He and I might have the same blood type, who knows, maybe I'm his father. The other side already had no solid evidence. Their lawyer started to sweat profusely. My lawyer stopped raising his head and continued his deadly attack. A newbie in the profession and already doing something like this? Don't embarrass the legal profession anymore. You dare to go to court with nothing in hand? No, that's not it. Nguyen Yuyen gritted her teeth and stood up. The crane was dead. We never expected this day to come. It was a great effort to bring that much evidence. Whether you believe it or not is up to you. I heard her laugh and turned to the judge. Your Honor, she is really bold, making excuses and disregarding the law. Please help educate her. My lawyer also helped them right away. We don't believe her. The four plaintiffs just looked at each other. She looked like she was about to turn her head upside down but still couldn't think of any other evidence. I lightly glared at the lawyer, winking. My lawyer pouted. What about the other half? This will have to be charged extra. Of course, I made the OK sign with my hand. As my lawyer spoke, he pulled out a small plastic bag and went up. If the plaintiff cannot provide evidence, then our side is willing to help. All eyes were on the plastic bag. Whose hair did she take down? Of course it was my husband's. I smiled before the cremation. I kept some of the hair as a souvenir. I didn't expect to have the chance to use it today. What? Actually, I was suspicious, so I saved it early. The whole group on the other side was gaping. Nguyen Yuyen almost couldn't stand. But because she didn't know Nguyen Yuyen was deceiving her, she even laughed at me. What she did was no different from bringing me good news. Just after saying that, Tichduk did a good deed. I looked at her to see how long she could keep smiling. When I took the baby's hair sample, Nguyen Yuyen immediately blocked my way. I objected. I disagree, she snapped. What objection? Figure it out first. It's not clear who will believe you. Nguyen Yuyen hugged the baby. Forget it. She looks ugly after a haircut. Get out of the way. She was furious. She pushed Nguyen Yuyen away and then rushed to grab the child's hair. The judge banged the table hard. No force was allowed. If the party did not agree, no coercion was allowed. She was so upset that she let out a loud cry. Then she cried loudly. It was heartbreaking to hear. Nguyen Yuan panicked and rushed to stop her. She accidentally pushed her and she fell to the ground. She fell painfully. His head hit the ground. Blood was flowing. He was shocked when he saw that. Finished, Nguyen Yuan was hit hard. We did this for your own good. How dare you do it? The court police immediately rushed in. The three of them separated. Nguyen Yuan hugged her red cheeks. She cried and said, I said I won't do the appraisal anymore. Is that not okay? If we can't divide the property, then forget it. Why should you torture the child? She brought no pain. She immediately raised her voice sharply. It was you who begged us to help you. Her child with Akin is also my grandchild. Now they are blaming us. The scene is starting to be exposed. The judge spoke. Order. The action just now constituted assailant. I have made it clear. If the person concerned does not agree to a DNA test, no one is allowed to force him to do so. My lawyer continued. Of course, if one side refuses to be tested, the court can completely assume that the other side has proven its claim. Do you hear that? What else is there to deny? She yelled at Nguyen Yuan. But Nguyen Yuan turned to the judge as if she didn't hear anything and said, I renounce my inheritance. Consider it over. The judge looked at the old couple, both of them almost in unison. We still demand the test. We are also the plaintiffs. Nguyen Yuan was so confused that she could not control herself anymore and her words made the whole room stunned. The child is not Xia Can's child. What? After hearing this, the faces of the old couple turned red. Mrs. Xia sang, Tell me clearly. You lied to us from beginning to end? Even the judge was surprised. Plaintiff Nguyen Yuan. She repeated what she had just said. Whose child really was this? Nguyen Yuan knew there was no way back, so she had to admit it. I lied. This child is my sister's daughter. I made this up just to get my brother's property. I used to have only his parents who could help me. Through the whole, the judge was angry that she was slandering others. She was deliberately making up stories. She could not control herself, rushed forward and grabbed Nguyen Yuan's hair. How could she do that? We helped her with all our heart, but she had no morals at all. Tell the truth, are you planning to swallow the property alone? Nguyen Yuan was in so much pain that she couldn't even move. The court police rushed over to pull her out, but he jumped out to block the way. Taking the opportunity, she gave Nguyen Yuan another painful slap in the face. I will beat you liar's mouth to pieces. The judge could not stand it any longer and waved his hand. Immediately, several more court police rushed in and dragged the couple out. I felt that was not enough, so I added, Chairman, I have one more thing to present. Half a month ago, Nguyen Yuan went online to defame, distort, and slander me. The number of shared laws has exceeded 5 million. My lawyer brought all the evidence documents up. After reviewing them, the judge asked Nguyen Yuan, is there anything else she wants to say? Nguyen Yuan could only cover her face and cry. Nothing left. And so the final verdict was given. For the crimes of forging evidence, deliberately slandering and spreading false information, seriously affecting the online environment and my personal honor, Nguyen Yuan was sentenced to 10 years in prison. I laughed so hard she sent herself to the camp. As for Mr. and Mrs. Ha, they were detained for a few more days for education, along with a fine. I was extremely pleased. Having escaped that terrible marriage, no one bothered me anymore. My life was as bright as a blooming flower. A month later, my golden lawyer came back from a trip abroad and told me that he had just accepted a new case. Guess what? It's your ex-husband's father. I lied to him and he's with someone else? The word salary. He laughed. Actually, he went to see a play for you. It turned out that my ex-husband's father was found dead in bed. The cause of death was exactly the same as Xia Can's. Xia Can was furious and immediately sued Tiu Tam in court. But this kind of incident is voluntary. My father-in-law overdosed on Viagra and died of self-inflicted injuries. The third party may have indirect responsibility, but not much. My lawyer did not try to defend Nguyen's client. On the contrary, he skillfully led her to gradually lose control. In the end, Tiu Tam was not punished at all. After receiving the verdict, she was so angry that she couldn't control herself and drove her car to kill Tiu Tam right in front of the courthouse. That was it. The rest of her life would pass in darkness. I laughed out loud. Like father, like daughter. Luckily, I didn't hit and kill Nguyen Yuan back then. Otherwise, I would be the one in jail now. She's not worth the risk. My golden lawyer poured me a glass of wine and suddenly said something that made me stop. Those who hurt you do not deserve to win. I was silent for a moment. Then Smile put your arm around his shoulder, clink glasses. Still the best. Raise. But it didn't wait for anyone. I took a sip of wine, the sweetness spreading across my tongue. I knew the rest of my life would be just as sweet. That's all for now. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Don't forget to like and subscribe to hear more great stories. Goodbye and see you again.